You're watching Alasmat the Shadow Band.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touched down, just like you in a game, I'm in another town, and nothing feels the same. Wish I could go back when we met that day. Oh, whoa, and throw a flag on the play.
You're watching Indie Comic Outliers with Alasmat.
German sits with a grin so wide. Pogs on the table can't hide his pride. Creator in the corner starts to glare. Madness sparks and hate fills the air. Stack 'em high, a tower of luck. Germans winning, it feels like pluck. Alasmat's fury, a brewing storm. Visions of pogs in every form. Pogs are spinning, tables turning. Alasmat's eyes with fierce fire burning. Germans' laughter echoes loud in a world that's pog-bound proud. Alasmat sees and he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. And he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Alasmat fumes can't take no more. Pogs and slammers hit the floor. It's not about the game you see, it's about what fun could be. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann.
You're watching Indie Comic Outliers with Alasmat the Shadow Band.
I was afraid of the haunted past of my mistakes, so I refrained and come to what little that remained. My safety in the mundane, oh, better than my shame. But this cloak felt heavy, maybe I was unready for the truth. Fear came over me like rainfall, but I still recall those bonds I shared were everlasting, and the joy I found was everlasting. And no surprise, I've been left behind again. No one else to accuse, only myself to blame. I was mistaken in letting hesitation be the answer I found. But no more paranoia, doubt. I'm reaching out to the hand that beckons. A familiar place that I've known. Warm welcome smiles and a gentle approach. Found comfort in all the new. Embraced all I look forward to. Those bonds we'll share will be everlasting, and the joy we'll find will be everlasting. And moment by moment, fear will fade away. I'm determined to keep the connections I've made. And for once I felt at peace, and I found my home, and I recall what they spoke. What was lost will be found.
Why do you people do this? Yes, I know my camera's frozen. I can fix that. It took a couple seconds. So you can't do that on me because I'm already on top of it. Nice try though. Nice try. But I'm on top of it already. So you guys in the chat are assholes. She has an ass. Okay? I draw Pumpkin War Patch with an ass. Who are you telling me I don't do that? Who are you people to tell me I don't do that? I do that. You should buy the comic and you'll see it. Maybe if you bought the comic, which is gonna go to the printers, you'll know. You'll know. Yeah, Pumpkin War Patch issue 2 going to the printers, and I'm excited to get it into your hands. And then I'll be getting to issue number 3 in the next couple weeks. I'll start issue number 3, and once I have half of it drawn, I'm gonna do the crowdfund for that, and then that'll go into issue 4. So I'm looking forward to that. And everybody in the house is excited now. Shh, quiet. Everybody's excited. But yes, I'm seeing you people in the chat, all you bashers in the chat, because God forbid a color puts the camera on and goes live to entertain you people. God forbid. But I guess I gotta do the thing. I gotta do the thing and say hi to people in the chat because that's the thing to do. Because if I don't do it, I'm considered ungrateful and not giving back to the community. So let me do this right now. So some person, I didn't even erase the white spot. Okay, I can erase that. So that's not nice try, but that can get fixed. JB Styler, how you doing, my friends? Good to see you there. Giefford is there. I'm not calling him by his government name. I'm calling him by his band zone name. And Coliform, also her band zone name. So there you go. Kisvitz, who started with a weather report. I don't know why. Like, why do you do that? I know, I get it. You hate music. I get it. You want to live in a world with no music. I understand it. But you don't have to be a smart ass and come into my chat and type in weather reports. No one asked you. Anyway, he says, "Yeah, last night you tell him she hasn't asked. It's just fucking fuck her." I got. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this right now. I'm gonna fix this right now. Hold on. Jesus. You sons of bitches. All you people, all you people, with your spears. Like, hold on. Let me grab a decent panel. Let me see here. Hold on. I don't want to reveal anything per se, but let's see here. Um, let's see. Hold on. Should I show this one? Let's see here. I mean, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, let me show this one. I'm gonna show a a panel, a side view for panel, and you're gonna see. You're gonna see. Oh yes. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. So, eggs on you people. Eggs on you. On every single one of yous that dares to tell me that I can't draw an ass on a girl. I absolutely can. I totally can. So let me just show you right now. There you go. See? Look at the profile. Look how nice that ass sticks out. Look at that. And I'm not giving much away in the story, but so yeah. So yeah, there you go. There you go. And that's just one of the panels. The Dude Abide, I see you. How's it going, my friend? Good seeing you there. Oz Great Say says something, but if I read it, I'm gonna get canceled, so no, I'm not gonna read that. Massive I didn't say hi to Massive Panda. Where my manners. Massive Panda, it's good seeing you as always, my friend. I like when you're in the chat, because I know it's gonna be a good show when you're in the chat. So shout out to you, Massive Panda. Vinzinger. Good seeing you there, my friend. Oh, we have Timothy. Oh, we have Colin. Colin, there we go. This is Colin. Okay. How you doing, Colin? I see you there. Shout out to Colin Lampin, the creator of Emerald Man. Good seeing you here. Some did I say hi to some person? Yeah, but he's down on my punk hood because he thinks I drew a flat ass and pumpkin warm. No, it's a round ass. It's a nice ass. I like nice asses. But I don't mind a pancake ass here every now and then. But I draw my girls with nice big. What am I talking about? Oh, that's right, because we do underground comics. They tend to do stuff like this. So yeah, I guess we're in brand because underground comics do that kind of stuff, and I guess they like to objectify women, which is good. Anyway, have I said hi to everybody? I think I have. So yeah, her fingers are claws, no nails. Tim isn't here. Did Dario destroy him? I probably, yeah. Guy says her fingers have no nails. So when I do close-ups, I do draw the nails, but when I do like far view shots, I tend not to. It's a I learned that from like some of like Bruce Timm's later DC animated stuff. Like he'll draw the fingers but no nails, so I kind of take it from that. But when I do close-ups, I do the nails. So it's just a choice I make with that. Ooh, wonderful color. Let me show you guys something, because y'all mocked me for the last stream, but Lady Shadowband came through. Look, I have reading glasses now, and it's made a world of a difference. Because I have this book in my library, a film review book, which I'll be using it. I'll be rereading it, but it's one of my creature features encyclopedia movie review book, and I had to squint when I read it, right? Because the font's kind of small. But now when I put my glasses on, it's like holy, it's like a whole new world. It's like I don't got to squint anymore. I can actually read it and just like wow. I think it's part of why when I do the text on my comics, I make the words a little bigger than the average comic. But um, with Pumpkin War Patch, I am experimenting with making the text a little small to add more words to it to help and make the reading a pleasurable and fulfilling experience. So let's see. So let's see. Okay, y'all talk in the chat. That's good. I'm glad we have an active chat. I like an active chat. Active chat. Active chat. Words are hard. Okay. So you guys are saying hi to each other. So that's good. That's good. We're saying hi to each other. That's great. We begin Thursday night with a nice little camaraderie. That's great. Did I say hi to Monomachus? I don't think I did. He says, wait, a blind man was drawing comics? For you! I can see. So is the color. She's hateful. She's divisive. She's got vitriol in her veins. Did you never hear of an eye doctor? Says Guy. Um, Gifford, Gifford, Gifford. But the last eye test I went to last year, they passed me. So they passed. What can I tell you? So I have a feeling if I go to one later this year, they may or may not recommend prescription glasses. I don't know, but the reading glasses help out a lot for when I read my book. So there you go. Out of Pangea says hail Alasma. Yes, out of Pangea. That's Wiggle. He'll be streaming this evening, so I guess you can start. You can say my stream is like a pre-crapcast stream before we head over to his channel. So that'll give him time to get his stream ready and get everything ready. So in the meantime, I'll be entertaining the masses tonight. The masses being 10 of you, I guess. Although 10 is a big number for me, so I will take it. Absolutely, will take it. Um, okay, it says Alasma finally has glasses, old man glasses, but he's still wearing women's. Kismis, you're trying. You're really trying, but it's not going to work. I'm not putting you in the ban zone. I'm not putting you in the ban zone. Nice try, though. A for effort. A for Philippian effort. Anyway, so yes, it's been quite an interesting week. Speaking of vitriol, oh man, like uh, yeah, I am of the belief now that every single not independent, every single professional comic artist are retards, all of them, and don't have the understanding of optics when it comes to morality. But a peculiar thing happened today, and this is how karma works. This is how karma works. So, the way karma works is this: you could be an insane asshole to people, or be like KSS, who's demanding I ban him. Just let Kissy, I'm not banning you. So now you're gonna stay in the chat, and I'm gonna entertain you. Anyway, getting back to my point. So you could be like a humongous asshole, right? As we witnessed earlier this week with this lady, Carolyn, who had to step away from the Rippaverse for health reasons, as she has stated. But people went after her. Comicsgate went after her, and were claiming that she got laid off. She was fired or laid off, and after she told EVS not to bring her up in drama, and after she corrected the record, he went ahead and replied with a very blasphemous prayer, repeating the lie that she was laid off. So that begat just a bunch of negative attention with these people. And then if you watched newscast with World Raptor last night, they went over the clip where Ethan was very like angry, whatever. I bring that up because today something happened today. A big thing happened, and I'll play the clip right now. Let me just exit out of here. So I think maybe I'll get the tweet that has the clip. That way I don't have to go through the entire stream. But they did put a timestamp on it. But yeah, so this guy named Malice appeared on Joe Rogan today. 2 hour, okay, 2 hour 40 minute mark. Okay, there it is. Let me go ahead and open it up on YouTube at the 2 hour 40 minute mark. And Eric July got a shout out, and apparently they're doing a collaboration. Wait, 2 hour 40 minute mark. The whole stream is 2 hour 41 minutes. Huh. Wait a minute. Okay. And okay, so yeah, I this just broke like the last hour, so um you'll probably see it on Crapcast tonight. You'll see it on Wiggle Stream, so don't worry about it. But I'm just bringing it up because that just gave the Rippaverse a big time explosion. Explosion. Did I say explosion? I did. Words are hard. Exposure. It's the coffee talking. So Wiggle, Wiggle. The way this works is you don't ask to get banned. You just get banned, and I dictate the terms. So if you're asking to get banned, most likely you're not going to get banned. No matter how much you try to be racist against me, how much you want to destroy my talents and my skill and say that I'm not skilled, you're not getting banned. It's not that doesn't work that way. So you have to stay in the chat with the rest of the community because that's where you stay in the community. Only I determine who gets banned, and only 4 people have been banned as own members. Gifford says the Rogan shout out seems like a lot like karma after that KRBS. That's exactly what it is. It is karma. And people have to start paying attention to this because I haven't seen anybody endure the amount of slander and false news and harassment that I've seen with Eric July. And yet his response is a masterclass of focusing on the path ahead and not letting yourself get dirty with mudslinging. For all the criticism that he received early on for how he initially reacted to the criticism, he has done a 180 and just like kept it focused, putting his books out, fostering a good community of people that are just interacting. Actually, I'm in their Discord. I'm in the Riververse Discord, and a bunch of us went there. And surprise, surprise, you know what they're talking about in that Discord? You want to know what they're talking in that Discord? They're talking about their books. They're talking about the books, the characters, the books. I'm like, this is a novel concept. They're actually comic book community talking about the comics they're buying and not the bullshit gay opping that happens on the side against that company. They're just talking about books. They're being nerds, friendly nerds, but nerds talking about books and characters. Like that's kind of what should have been CG, but CG said no. We're just gonna kick a bunch of creators out, kick a bunch of whales and customers out, and just focus on a few of us, and just kill the whole thing. Solid business plan. What can I tell you? Gaz says, "Alive, my good friend. Wiggle introduced me to a great band called Hale. Did you know Himmler was a rocking guitarist? I did not, but I'm trying to get to that level myself because I do play the guitar. So hopefully I'll be as good as Himmler. So anyway, um, Austrian rock star is better than Austrian painter, says Oz Great Sage. That might be debatable, but you never know. Never know. Vinziga says, I'm aware of the collaboration and how Michael Mouse is making a comic book for Ripperson. Good for him, and I'm curious if he will do some Riververse works too. Stay tuned. Who knows? KSS allows me. You're still wearing the black T-shirt. You aren't fooling me by wearing a button-down T-shirt over. Change your T-shirt. This okay. I'm sorry, because if you feel that way, but this is a clean shirt. This is a clean shirt. Okay, you're not here to judge me and dictate my fashion prowess. You're here to join me in a conversation about today's artist, Bill Beck, and the underground comics movement, which really is a blueprint for how indie comics should actually be, but it's not because the wrong people are running. And I'm not just talking about Comicsgate. I'm talking about just in general. The wrong people are trying to spearhead their little mini movements in indie comics and are sending a bunch of creators into a path of nothingness. And I got a lot to say on that, but that's for another day because that might get me tar and feathered. I don't know. Like I said, there's no business sense in indie comics, none. You know, and I took a bath colors this morning. Color form. I bathed, showered. My skin is pure and clean. Unlike your mouth. Gifford is actually entertaining the conversation. For once, he says it's actually insane because CG really could have been in the same spot and being mentioned on Rogan and taken off. EVS is a masterclass in singing a golden opportunity. Yep, 100%. 100%. 100%. But we're not pros, so what do we know? We're just peasants. We are peasants, right? That's what they say. We are peasants. And yet it's the peasants that spearheaded the early underground comic book movements. These are people that didn't have and if you've been watching my Thursday stream, my Indie Comic Outlier streams, you know that the comic artists that I've profiled, most of them didn't even start out in pro circles. They had a dream. They they honed in on their drawing skills or lack of, depending on your style of it. And there you go. And they just did. They started working on the local strips, the local newspapers, the magazines, whatever, and then they built their thing that way. So yeah. I see Mood of Hell's in the chat. He wants to come on. Let me open up my OBS because I gave Mood of Hell the link last time. He didn't show on, so he wanted to judge me instead. So let me go on Discord, Mood of Hell. Okay, I'll go on Discord, and then we'll be good. So my reactor thing's on. Let me type in. Let me put in. Oh no, because I don't want to things yet. Okay. So while I get my Discord open for Mood of Hell, and we have this conversation about Joel Beck. No, Colors, I don't want to fight you. I just want to you. I want you to disappear. Just disappear and never bother me again. Because we're a healthy community out here. We are healthy. Oh wait. JV Style says, I'm not commenting on that ban for legal reasons. Oh, I'm aware of those. I'm aware of the legality of that. Yes, I know. Say no more. Moonfell actually, Helmet actually briefed me on that law, so I get it. Don't worry. Is Eric July still a peasant? Oh no, he's the Black Caesar. Eric July is the Black Caesar. That's that has been officially declared. He's the Black Caesar. So, um, Gil says, I don't understand Malice's appeal, but he's been on huge podcasts many times. I mean, look, I'm not gonna pretend I know too much about the guy. I'm not gonna pretend. So, but apparently he's a big deal, and this is a big announcement. And apparently, I'm hearing that it may even make Richard C. Meyer co-part. So we'll see. Um, I'm getting on Helmut. I'm getting on my Discord. My Discord is opening up. I'm doing the Discord app because that's how this works, I suppose, as opposed to just how I do it before. So okay, but shout out to the chat. Despite that, actually, this is a much more friendlier chat than normal. I am surprised because usually y'all have the spears ready, but the spears are not right now. So that's awesome. It's really awesome. So anyway, here we go. Okay, I'm going into the room of tolerance, Mutafel, and I'm going to share my screen so you can actually be on top with the chat and what we show. So there you go. So as soon as Moon of Hell gets on, we're in business. Well, but let me just read the chat before I open up my files for Joe Beck's artwork. KSS says healthy. You've been wearing the same black T-shirt for weeks, a couple days, and it's clean. I'm sorry if it bothers you. Well, it's Colonel Morg. He says, "Shut up, peanut head." That's not nice, Colonel Morg. I'm a very nice man. I'm actually very I am very well respected. I think. I know I am. I actually I'm revered. I'm very revered. Totally revered. I'm very. You know how revered I am because I am close, Corner Morg, to getting to that Todd McFarlane level because I am your McFarlane. This generation needs me. Okay, I ain't gonna be on that Mount Rushmore one day of indie creators. It'll be Greg Miller, Tom McFarlane, and me. So screenshots these. Screenshot this because you can actually, if you screenshot my face in your chat, Chronomorph, you can actually sell that as an NFT, and you can make millions of it in 10 years. So so screenshot it now and make an NFT out of it. You'll pay your mortgage. Well, if we have mortgages then, because if this country goes the way it is, we're gonna be socialists very fast, and private property is gonna be abolished, and forget about it. We may not have mortgages. We're gonna be paying Big Brother soon. Um, Cassius Kirk says, I am here to be unfriendly. Keyword. I can't read the keyword because I'll get struck from YouTube. Helmet, why are you typing in the chat, Helmet? I'm in the Discord. Get in Discord, Mood of Hell. Get in Discord. I do need some Clock People action figures now that I think about it. Yeah, Clock People. Clock People's gonna have more lore for a book that's never getting made. But if you back Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, some of the pages of Clock People made it into that book. So, um, but yeah, I think Clock People will probably be good. Oh wait, he's here. I can't hear you. Oh shit! Yes. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that the Discord, the desktop audio. Okay, go ahead. Speak.
Hello,
There we go. Mood of Hell's in the
Peanut Head.
chat. Mood of Hell's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I have a little bit of back problems, but nothing serious. And I was awake, so I thought, why not come on to my good friend, the Peanut Head?
Well, we missed you last couple. I sent you the link last time. You didn't come on, so I don't know if you had given up on me, but we missed you.
No, sometimes I just lay half awake in bed and I see you streaming, but I can't come on in my
I'm important, Helmet. I'm important.
situation.
I'm worth it. You actually here's the thing. Believe it or not, you gain college credits when you come on my stream. It's considered a internship.
Yeah, I heard Michael Mellis mentioned also you, not only Eric July on Joe Rogan. He said that one guy named Elasmat with the poor backdoor hygiene.
Listen, stop lying, okay? I clean myself. I'm a clean man.
Hey, Kissy said you are wearing the same T-shirt for 3 days now.
That's a lie. This is clean. This is a clean shirt.
Is it?
Very clean. As a matter of fact,
Or was it formerly white and is now gray
you
because
wouldn't
of
make fun of a
the
man with glasses,
paint?
would you? Would you?
I'm in a good mood today.
I like my glasses. These are reading glasses. Lady Shout Out got these for me, and I was blown away when I opened up some of my books. I'm like, holy crap, I can actually look at these words. Because I got books with very tiny lettering, but when I open up, I'm like, I can read this. I was like, wow. So yeah, these are my new reading glasses, and they look pretty good. I like them. They're not,
You
they're not,
look a
they're not.
little bit too big for your tiny head.
Well, I got mocked for the last pair that I wore, so these are more to my liking. So I don't care what anybody says anymore. I'm tired.
Okay, Millhouse.
Oh shit, we got 22 people watching. There's 22 people watching my stream, so we got to make this entertaining and worthwhile. So I'm gonna open up my folder, my Joel Beck folder. Are you familiar with Joel Beck?
No,
Okay.
not by name, maybe by his work.
Well, his work is actually very not limited. Like he's done 3 books, and he was considered like the not the founder of the underground comics movement, but kind of like the forefather of it. So
Okay.
so before like Art Robert Crumb and all the other guys, Spain Rodriguez and the rest of them started the movement. He was there like a couple years before that doing his comics. The term underground comics didn't even happen. Didn't get coined at the time, so there was no such thing as the concept of underground comics until Zap Comics came out in 1966. I think it was 66, 67. So yeah. So I'm just reading the chat right now. Okay, cool. So we're up to speed. Okay, let me go ahead and share my window for the art stuff. Uh, and make sure I've got it. You've got it. Here we go. The Prophet, right? Is this it? There we go. The Prophet. Okay, there we go. So this is one of his books called The Prophet, which was a parody of a story from 1923. Um, this one's called Pen Tips on Underground Cartoons. Yeah, they I think the term underground cartoons was more used before the movement than underground comics. Today's lesson: the origin of underground comic art. Let's read. This is Joe Beck's art. Let's read this. He says, "Yes, folks. Ha ha ha. It's been a struggle, but it sure has been worth it. I can't speak for the rest of my colleagues, but I remember how it all began for me back in the early '60s. And stay out, punk kid. Yeah, so he's talking about his early days, struggling as a comic artist, getting rejected. I sure know a thing or two about being rejected. Anyway, as an artist, but yeah, it came as a bright vision in my hour of darkness. I can't get work anywhere. The big boys have got it all sewed up. Young, idealistic, and sensitive, I set out to bring the world a whole new art form. Ha ha ha! I'll show those flaky old men. Ha ha! I'll get. Is this student of God? Well, anyway, I'll get even. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha! This is student of God. This will screw him over. Hee hee hee. Once I had perfected my art, I revealed it to my masters. Okay, you flaky old drunks, look here. Here's a cartoon of your precious mouse making it with your darling D word. Yeah, this is Son of God. Yeah, look at this. Look at the simplistic art when he's telling the story. But he doesn't need to be super detailed; just needs to tell the story. Anyway, and I've got 10,000 copies printed. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. How's that grab you? You like it? Hee hee ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Hey, this stuff is great. Hey boys, look at what the crazy kid's done. Of course we can't use it, but there's a revolution going on. Stick with it, kid. Don't get your ass sued, son. Good luck, boy. Yeah. And for me, that's how the movement began. So there you go. That's the origin of his of how he probably a satirized version of it, but that's the origin of it. But yeah. Any word, Mutafal?
I like that he is using his autobiography for the funny strips.
Shout out to the chat. I see Desert Nomad's in the chat. What's going on, Desert Nomad? Good seeing you here. We have a Cowabunga Joe says Lispy Elasmat needs better, reads better than Raptor. I try. I really try. But I'll accept it. Thank you. Anyway. Um so yeah, so this is from I guess this is like an autobiographical from the prophet. But anyway, next page. Here we go. This is from a book called Marching Marvin. So he did 3 books. This is one of the 3. Marching Marvin's about an unemployed Santa, and it's been described as an allegory on marketing and morality by some people. Copies of this book go for about like $370 on Abe Books. And the thing I've noticed when I look at these books from this particular period of comics, the underground comics movement, and I notice this more so with Von Bodie, is that the early printings go for a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars. We're talking.
Yeah, because it was niche back then and it's more niche now. And niche products tend to get expensive, especially in the artsy fartsy section.
And yeah, and I was thinking about this. Like time, the passage of time is what makes these books valuable. Because you get these idiots, like these comic producers, and I'm talking independents. A certain particular female with a questionable face was talking about, you get her books and you can put them on eBay and flip it for, a few dollars more. And I'm like, that's not how this works in indie comics. You don't just buy someone's book and then automatically flip it and thinking you're gonna get hundreds of bucks for it. That doesn't work that way. The way it works is that you buy a book, right? And if it inherits any value, any social value in time, then it becomes valuable. But that's the key, it's time. So you don't buy a book from somebody today and then flip it and think you're gonna get a whole bunch of money out from that. It doesn't work that way. They've totally misread the collector's market. Totally. They did not learn the lessons of the 80s on why comics were valuable in the first place. It's the passage of time that makes these books valuable.
Not every time. Look at Dale Keown's Pit. You can still find this shit in every bargain bin, even here in Germany.
I mean, when I say that, it's general. I mean, and not it's not going to be 100% across the board, but in the case of Pitt, it's a very nominal character from the Image days. It's not as popular as the other characters were, but it's notable because it has a beginning and an ending, I guess. But the Keon's poor time management skills, I guess, killed the momentum. So as a result, Pitt didn't get the legacy that Spawn or Savage Dragon did. As a result, not to mention Keon's reputation was not well received by his peers. Um, like Rob Liefeld and Eric Larson publicly have said not nice things about Keon, and I got those screenshots. So um,
Doesn't he still own somebody from back in the day money?
he also, yeah, one of his inkers didn't get paid by him, and that person did a video on him. So yeah, he doesn't really have the best of reputation among his peers.
And now he's known as the piss bottle king of CG.
Madison Panda says, generally speaking, I don't think there's any type of person on the face of this planet who faces more rejection than the artist. Yeah, and the artists in general usually don't know how to handle that rejection. They don't know what to do with it, and that's where a lot of them end up just stumbling. And sometimes I have to like remind myself, okay, there's a method to this madness when you're rejected a mat. So, you need to like take it, wear it, and then move forward, and then keep on pressing. It happens. Giefer says, don't ignore the fact that Mal said he'd do a comic with EBS before. That needs to be known. Oh, I didn't know that. Can you give me the lore on that, Gee? That might be interesting. What do you think of that, Mudafel? Malice is Michael Malice, who was on Joe Rogan today, shouting out Eric July and announced that he's going to be doing work with Ripperson. So, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a big marketing thing. and it will push Eric July's products maybe forward and make other people seize and cope and scream and maybe Biscott themselves.
This is my last
One can
comment, but
only
anyway,
hope.
strike the right
Yeah.
down. JB Silas says, yes, I fell for this scheme, got some retailer tears. Yeah, that's the he bought a bunch of books thinking he could flip it, and that didn't work out. So yeah, don't here's the thing, and I say this to everybody, and please listen to what I'm gonna tell you. Don't let a comic artist who's producing a book tell you that you can flip it for money. No, he's not. He or she does not have the authority to make that book worth any money. The passage of time and you, the reader, you, the fans, are the ones that make that book valuable. You give that book valuable. So if I produce a book and I tell you, hey, this is gonna be worth a lot of money, you can sell it on eBay for a lot of money. Don't believe me. I'm probably feeding you a big line. But if I made a book now and I gave it to you, and in 10 years, whatever, something happens to me and I leave the earth, um, you may have something valuable in your hands. That's how this works. Um, just word to the wise. If a comic artist is telling you, "Oh, this book's going to become valuable," they're full of shit. I'll be blunt. If any comic artist is doing a book and they tell you this book is going to be worth a lot of money, they're full of shit. It's not up to them to decide that. It's up to the passage of time, and that includes you, the readers, or you, the fans, giving that book legacy. So there you go.
Hmm.
Anyway, so let's continue on with more artwork from Joel Beck. This one is from Marching Marvin. So yeah, this is from that Santa. We'll call it the Santa Claus book, but I want you to observe the inking. One thing that I noticed when I was looking at his stuff is the word balloons. Like he gives the word balloons a certain style to it that makes it very artistic, which I like. And you know me, like I've always said that I feel like the word balloons in a comic page has to blend in with the art. I've always said that. Um, there's that, and there's also the line work. He has his own his style of cross hatching or hatching reminds me of Will Eisner. If you ever seen Eisner's artwork, it looks similar to this. But Eisner came first, so he got probably influenced by Eisner. I love the style of inking. I love how you get like various shades of the black. So actually, I should move. Let me take the chat out for a second. There you go. You should be able to see more of this. There you go. So this is what I was talking about with the word balloons, how it looks like it blends in with the artwork. And I've always said like the word balloons, like if you maybe give it minimal space between the text and the edges of the balloon itself, to me, I've always thought it was just more aesthetically pleasing. It gives the words a bit more in relation to the pictures. That's my stance on that, and I've given examples of what I'm talking about. This one is also from Marching Marvin. This page, I what the thing that stuck out with this page is that you see the examples of both simplicity as well as complexity. The simplicity with the characters and the complexity with the background, and yet it still feels it's like it's one and the same. And also the word balloons again, the word balloons. So I looked at this panel for example, pretty simplistic. You would have guessed that the same artist also did this, but it's both good in how it visually tells the story. So that was the thing that stuck out with me as I was reading this. So yeah. Uh, Linkovich says, "Rock on Eliza with your vintage comics." Hail Linkovich, good seeing you here. Master Panda says, "Eliza, did you say this comic was a product of the 20s or 30s?" No. So the Prophet was made in 1966, but it was a parody of a book from 1923 with the same name, different spelling. But no, Joe Beck was making comics from the '60s, um, and he was known for three books that came between 1965 and '66. We just showed Marching Marvin. Now we're no, we showed the Prophet, and we're doing Marching Marvin, and then we're gonna go into his other one. Then he with her. Okay, yeah. Well, so we're gonna go into that one in a bit. It's a book that he did based on comic Lenny Bruce. I'll go into more of that in a bit. The story behind it. Timothy says, "I've arrived at Chuck Spears at the D word. You're banned, Timothy, so your spears have no effect on me. Con- Consult with colors to see how to effectively be racist against me. Because you don't just come in here and start yapping and aiming your spears like you think it has any kind of. Oh, yeah, I just. There we go. Like you think it has any effect. It doesn't have any effect at all. There's the chat. See? There's the chat. Nice shading on the artwork, says Tom. Well, that is true. Yeah, he does have. I did. That's what I was pointing out. The shading is pretty decent on this because it gives a depth of value with the color with the blacks. So Mazapana says, I asked because the line art has a depressingly eerie quality to it, but goofy subject matter with the cartoony expressions. Like he's trying to make people laugh during tough times. Maybe it's just me. Well, the tough times is where a lot of the great artworks come out. And unfortunately, the better the artwork, the tougher the times are. So I guess with what art tries to do, it gives you like a nice euphoric vision of the darker world you actually live in. So maybe that's why it works out that way. This is also from Marching Marvin. And I like what he does with the word balloons. Again, like the way he treats the text, it, it just blends in with the artwork. Big fan of that. I like text that tries to be experimental for the sake of it being artistic. You zoom into something like this, for example, and it's very simplistic, very um, not very there, whatever you want to call it. But then when you zoom out, it just adds to the depth of the photo. It just makes it really good. It's just again the simplistic techniques is what makes an artwork in a comic stand out, along with the text. So yeah. Colonel Mark says the spears are dipped in bleach, which is like kryptonite to Alasmat. Bleach? Why do you want me DED? I've been nothing but nice to you people. We're talking about comics, not destroying me. Okay, this is from his other book, The Prophet. Again, he plays with the text, and it's just nice. It's very good. I like this a lot, and I think a lot of comic artists should really get into like lettering their stuff and not making it bland. The thing with indie comics today is it tries to mirror the mainstream, so you have to have like word balloons and text that's similar to the mainstream. It's like that's boring. That's that's so boring. Just try to have fun with the text. You'd be surprised how much fun it is to letter your own stuff and to really just play around with it. I did a lot of that with Beastars and Road Warrior Drake. Not so much with Pumpkin War Patch yet, but I will. I as the issues progress, I'm gonna be more experimental with the text because I want to have fun with that. Here's more from the Prophet. Prophet is spelled Porfit, so to play off the word prophet, as in the he that delivers the message. You notice how like rough and rugged the inking is here. He's just trying to tell the story. He's not trying to be artistic. He's just telling the story. But in doing so, you could see that the artistic skills are coming out. You're very quiet, Moon of Hell.
I think it looks a little bit like a parody of early Walt Disney work.
Well, it's a parody of something for sure. It's a parody of a little book called The Prophet. I didn't research that, um, I'm pretty certain he did get inspiration from that. This is also from The Prophet. This picture I got from somebody selling this on eBay. They were selling it for $200 plus. I think I took a screenshot of that. I'm gonna show you this the eBay page because I'm telling you, like these books go for hundreds of bucks. That is no exaggeration. And this is Lenny. Okay, Lenny of Laredo is the book that he was doing. That was a satire of the comedian Lenny Bruce. If you guys know Lenny Bruce, he was very controversial. He was one of the first comedians to use vulgarity in his stand up, but he was also one of the first that really got very topical with his stuff. And I guess some higher ups didn't like it, and for that, Lenny Bruce has maintained a following even well after his passing. Tomedy says it's okay. I think it's okay to do some mirror of the mainstream, but what else can you bring to the table? Well, indie comics is about the alternative to the mainstream. So be creative. That's how you stand out. If you're just going to mirror the mainstream, you're just a needle in a haystack. I'm not saying that about you specifically, Tomedy. I'm just saying in general that's the elephant in the room. A lot of indie comics are such mirrors of the mainstream that they don't stand out and they just get dismissed because why would you settle for the low key version when you could just get the prime version of it? So by the way, Tomedy was a victim of being Darioed, so we're so glad that he's well now. Massapana says, let me put the pop out chat here. No, I'll just there we go. Massapana says, uh yeah, his lettering is really nice. It's got its own character to it. That's it, character. Much like what you'd see in the Sunday Funnies. That's what I'm talking about. The letters themselves become a character in the story. I think that's the best way to explain it. Is that they are their own character. I talk about it blending in with the art. Yeah, they're their own character. And some of my favorite examples of that were the EC comics with the Tales from the Crypt, early Fletcher Hanks comics. Another great example. I think if the text has its own flavor to it, it becomes a more visually aesthetic um, experience, and it's just more fun to read. Because it really feels like you're escaping the real world and going into a very cartoony, Universal style world that you can just enjoy, have fun, and just you know kick your shoes off for. So I need more water. Oh, let me finish my coffee here. Mm. There we go. Okay, coffee was good. Okay. Oh, there we go. So look, so Lenny Laredo. This is the original 66 print edition from 66. It is going on eBay for $525. So
Is it signed? Or how is it so expensive?
it's expensive because one of the first editions of it, and I don't think this is this is reprinted. I think the last reprint of it was I think 1999, I believe. I could be wrong, but a lot of these underground comics books, like the Von Bodie stuff, some of them don't get reprinted, and when they do, they go for an insane amount of money. So, for example, I when I bought an issue of Von Bodie's comic with his collective work, I think I paid $30 for it, and it was like 18 or so pages. It's insane. Like they go for a lot of money. These underground comics, these like the Tijuana Bibles go for a lot of money. I'm thinking about doing a stream on that. I'm not sure yet because that's a bit controversial. Um, but a reason why I think about the Tijuana Bibles is because they were the predecessors of the underground comics movement. So, you know, that's why I wanted to touch on that. I should put the pop up. Let me bring this back a bit. There we go. So that way we can see the pop up chat. So you guys, I can document all the racism and the violence from the chat. Commonly says they don't take chances. No, they don't. They don't take chances. They're afraid to because they're afraid that in their mind, if they don't follow the routine, they're gonna be ignored, even though they're being ignored anyway. Gifford says sometimes quote unquote misunderstood is an excuse to cover for scumbags. Possible, yeah. I think in some cases that is absolutely true. Kirk Fashy says $400 dues fill my truck for a week. Hope he enjoys and gets that spoiled wealth. May he spend it in kind. Well, I would say spend it in kind because if you're looking to save money for retirement in about couple decades, that's no longer going to be a thing. So retirement is going to be a thing of the past. So there you go. Such a downer. And I think that's what I have. That's all I have for the Joe Beck stuff. But wait, Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Oh, no, hit the wrong arrow. There we go. Okay. So this is one of the later reprints of his three stories, the collected works. And one thing that I looked at here is adults only. Fear the world's first underground comic book. Yeah, they were called underground comics back then. This was before the underground comics movement, but once the underground comics movement kicked in, they retconned these into the underground comics. So, and this contains his three books: the Lenny of Laredo, the Prophet, and Marching Marvin. So,
So that guy appears out of nowhere, makes three books, and fucks off into the sunset.
no, he did like some works on the side too. Like he did some other small comics for other people, but these are the ones that he was known for. Like this was his personal mark on the comic scene, you know. And
Mm.
then I know that he was a big fan of Robert Crumb, and he did some homages to Crumb. I think he was doing comics as late as 1998 because he ended up dying in 1999. So yeah, he's gone. He passed away. But yeah, these were his things. This is what he was known for. And his stuff did get reprinted in some of the underground comics magazines, like Zap Comics, for example. Um, but apparently in the 70s, and this is what I read, his work disappeared from the scene. So he kind of like this like vanished for a bit. He wasn't making anything new during the 70s. So and it wasn't until like the 90 late 98 or whatever when his personal homage to Robert Crumb was printed in 1998. But prior to that, he was kind of like reclusive. So in the 70s from till like the late 90s, you didn't really see or hear people out of this, which is part of why his stuff is valuable now. Why people are paying hundreds of bucks for it is because he didn't do anything new in that time. So there wasn't much in terms of like reprints or whatever. So yeah, it's an interesting phenomena, interesting circumstance in that case. So that's why, again, if you want to get his stuff, you can just out a few $100s for it. But the historicity of his stuff and the fact that he was credited indirectly as being the founder, if you will, of the underground comics movement gives his work that kind of value. So Vidzinger says, I do like cartoony art styles, and I like seeing cartoon art styles used more in action oriented stuff. That is why I'm glad you said that. I do what I do with Beast System of Roy Drake, an action comedy that uses a cartoony style, barring those books' incredible cover art. But yeah, I toy around with that. I toy around with the cartoony style, adding comedy and action to the story of Road Warrior Drake. So I'm totally on that Kinzinger, and I think a lot of people understand that because there is a move, if you will, a push back to that. But that's gonna take a commitment for those of us that understand it, but have to. Giefer says adults only. Is he a perv too? So in the independent comics or the alternative comics, their whole thing was it was for adults. So it wasn't so much. I mean, if you want to say they're pervy, sure, maybe I don't know, but that was one of the traits of indie comics was it was a reaction to the Comics Code Authority, and the Comics Code Authority said no excessive violence, no excessive sex. So what did the indie comics do? They did excessive violence and excessive sex. It was more just like a pushback on the comics code. And they said, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna give ourselves the freedom to do whatever, and they can't stop us. So yeah. KSS says Joe Beck. I remember his song Two Turntables and a Microphone and a loser. Wrong guy, kisses! Wrong guy! Pay attention to the stream. Timothy says comedy, action, and D words. The Elasmat story. Um. Anyway, so KSS says Elasmat doesn't remember Michael Mouse saying he was into comics and saying he wanted to do a comic with Ethan and Ethan be all flattered and jumped ahead 6 years and Mouse is doing a comic with the Riververse. Um, I do know from what I heard that Richard C. Meyer, your boy Zach, was a I guess he was a fan or something of Michael Malice. So I was told by somebody when that news broke that he was doing stuff for the Riververse that your boy Zach was going to be very coping. He's going to cope very hard. So I'll wait and see how that transpires. But um, yeah, but that's it's big news, and there we go. We're at it. What if I've talked too much? What do you have to say?
Hmm. I think we need more of those guys back in the comic scene and less of the Image guys that are still lurking around doing their shit from the 90s.
The Image stuff was a mistake. Let's be honest. It's a mistake because
The 90s was not a good time for comics, if you ask me.
pick a handful of comics that were good, but most of it was just like forgettable trash. It was, like um they have these collective works of like the various Image characters like Spawn and Savage Dragon, and I'm like Spawn will sell because he has legacy. Savage Dragon, I mean, from what I've heard from people who've read the Savage Dragon books, it's there. It's there. There's nothing like Spawn story from the fans of Spawn that I've heard. The
I
story of
think you
Spawn got
muted yourself, Peanut Head.
what? What?
Hello?
Oh
You know,
my god!
Oh
You
no, it's the
boomer!
cloud chaser again.
oh,
You boomer!
it's Primathor. What did I do?
You're boomering it!
How am I boomering it?
Yeah, I can't
You
hear
are
him.
boomering the stream. You're boring the audience. You're talking about your own little things. You're not entertaining them. You're not
I'm
reading their
reading.
chat.
Okay. I'm about to kick you because I'm reading the chat, and that segued to what Helmet said, and I'm responding to that. Pay attention, Primathor. Pay attention.
The only thing I see you paying attention to is some guy who died in 1999, and that Richard C. Meyer basically is crying over him still for 20 plus
Okay.
years.
Do you want? Okay. Listen. Okay, the guy that we were talking about,
Do
Joe
you guys
Beck.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Helmet.
Yes, we can hear you.
Try and cut you off.
Yeah, I
Helmet, so-
can't hear the Peanut Head.
No, they can't hear you, Elasma. You have completely broken your mic.
No, no. I can. They hear me, and I see it on the OBS, so they can hear me.
But
So,
do you hear it on the stream?
why is it? How does it sound on the stream?
I'm gonna go check.
Because I'm looking at the settings and it's got the good mic, so uh, I have confirmation that they can hear me. But to answer your slander, Primathor, the subject of today's stream is Joe Beck, who died in 1999, hence that statement. And then we got into the Ripperverse stuff because Michael Malice was on Joe Rogan today, as talked about in my
I know.
chat. As talked about in my chat, my chat's talking about it. So I'm referencing what the chat's talking about, and then that segued
Yeah,
into
I can't hear the duck here.
I can hear Elasma on the stream and in here. If you're having issues, Helmet, leave and come back. Okay, it's probably a Discord error.
Give me a
yeah.
second.
Just like hang up and come back on. Tell me if you can hear me.
And yes, hello Morg. Yes, it is your good friend. How you doing? Hail the war campaign. There you go.
And as I was saying, Primathor, and shut your mouth. As I was saying, wait, let me put your icon.
Oh,
There we
I
go.
can hear you now, Peanut Head, unfortunately.
Amazing.
So as I was saying, in relation to like modern indie comics and the art, yeah, they got the lessons wrong. Nobody really buys a book or remembers a book for the art. Okay, they remember a book for the writing and the art service and the writing. That's just a fact. That's just the way it is. So, we're going not to rehash last week's conversation, but again, I'm just referencing what was said in the chat. So don't tell me I'm ignoring the chat, because I bring in Spears and I have to address it every time.
You
By
have
the way, what do you think
Spears in the chat?
What do you think about my reading glasses?
You look like a Mexican Rick Moranis.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, Vince Inger says, and I'm reading the chat now. Vince Inger says, to be honest, I respect Image Comics for wanting to have a creator-owned operation. No, that was a good thing. That was a good thing. I mean, absolutely 100%. But, the wrong lessons were learned, and now we have the market's flooded with comics that virtually look the same and are going to be forgotten in time. Yes, I said a controversial thing, so, but I'm not wrong.
Like Tears in the Rain? I made a Blade Runner reference, and you just sit there and be like, I don't know what he's talking about.
You bring
You
nothing
know
to the
what?
table. You
You
bring
know
nothing
what?
to.
You know you
What?
are ashamed to Roy Batty. That man cried his heart out in front of the Blade Runner. Man, he saw all kinds of shit go down.
Full story. Anyway, Linkovic says I take a lot of it more seriously when you wear shirts with a collar. Thank you. That's why I put it on because it gives me prestige. And not only that, but now with the glasses, it makes you look really full of wisdom. And I think you people will take me more seriously. And I think the spears will decrease a bit now that I have the proper attire. So
Okay, chat. I need your opinion on this. Does he look more sophisticated with the glasses and the shirt on right now, or would he look a lot more sophisticated with a salmon t-shirt and the glasses?
okay, you mean the red shirt? And the answer is I'm not wearing the red shirt right now. I'm wearing
No, that's salmon.
it's red. I'll kick you. I swear on Allah, I will kick you.
I think you're colorblind, Elasma. That's clearly salmon.
Uh, oh no, we lost Prime. Damn it. Prime's internet went out. Anyway, Colonel Mark says it's been about 5 years now, almost. I seem to not be banned everywhere. You got to be special to be banned, and I don't mean that in a good way. So you can ask Colorform, you can ask Gifford, you can ask Hamidi, and you can ask
Can you hear
Javage.
me?
I can hear you. I hear you. And you're showing up on my lobby,
Hello,
yes. Yeah,
Peanut Head.
I hear you. Can you hear me? Hamid, can you hear me? I mean, I'm looking at the settings.
Oh,
Man, Discord sucks tonight.
it's probably because they're implementing the whole facial recognition shit in your German ass fucking IP.
Yeah.
Well, they can go and fuck themselves.
That's right.
Oh, so you can hear Prime then. Okay, so we have confirmation that you can hear Prime.
Yeah, I can also hear you,
Well,
unfortunately.
there you go. So we're back to normal. We're back to normal. Good. I'm glad. Tommy says, I am special. Yay. We know that, Tommy. That's why you're banned. You join Jabba, you join Guidance Room, and you join Cal Colors. The four yous are banned. And people in the chat know not to interact with you because that's a violation. So can't interact with members of the ban zone. It's just block them, ignore them, whatever. They're banned. Every single one is banned. And we have to respect the terms of service because as a healthy community, we have to follow the rules. Because that's how this works. As long as you're following the rules, then everything's good and normal. So
Wait, Communita? Where is this Communita rules? Did I turn terms of service and privacy policy agreement?
nothing of what you said makes sense. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm just telling you how it is.
Look, man, this isn't Nom, okay? Gosh.
Linkovic says, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I mainly pay attention to the guitar and drums. I've played in many bands where I didn't know the lyrics. Sounds fair. That sounds like the norm, I suppose. So, not Gifford. KSS is typing something that I'm not going to read because every other word is a term of service violation in what you just said. So I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to get my channel struck down on account of you, Kissy. Kissy.
I think you will.
No, I will not. I will not. Absolutely not. But in spite of all that, I think I'm good in that we seem to be enjoying ourselves without having to you know, knock other people. So that's good. That's totally good. Oh, is that Arnold in the chat? Very cute Arnold. I see what you wrote, Arnold.
A Lazarette. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That's right. Yes.
Oh, don't drink yourself to death with that vodka in that bottle.
I will. Just for that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it harder. Despite you. Despite you.
I'm so glad that I'm the one who has to pick up Ein and not you. I don't feel safe with you picking him up.
Wait, hold on. KSS has just issued a threat. So now I'm going to read this because I need this documented. He says, read it or ban me. No, Kissifus, that does not how it works that way. It doesn't work that way. I don't have to read nothing from you. I ain't got to read nothing. Okay? Number one, this is Hawk History Month. Okay? Black History Month, you revere and respect me. Okay, you're supposed to be nice to your colors, so you don't get to talk to me that way because this is my month. Respect me, or just don't, or just Jim Crow yourself across the street, but do not disrespect me. That's how this works. Okay. But I will just read your previous. Actually, no, I'm not going to read it because you threatened me, and I'm not going to be threatened. So that ain't going to happen, Kissafis. So you just played yourself. You did like that meme, and you played yourself. So that's there you go. So any questions about how I run this? No questions. Okay, good because I want to be certain that we understand each other. So that's good. There we go. See that now the chat's back in the template where it belongs. Where it belongs.
Well, since Black History Month is an American thing and nobody gives a fuck about that in Germany, I can still dunk on you, Peanut Head.
I am a human wherever I go. If I go into Germany, you respect me. I bring
No,
I bring diversity to your vanilla country, so you need to respect me, revere me.
no,
Prime thing,
absolutely not.
prime
Wait,
fix.
wait. Revere? Revere? That's a big word for
Yes,
you.
it is absolutely the word for me. Prime. It is the word for me.
No,
Absolutely.
it's not. It's not a big word for no. Hang on. That is a big word for you. Okay, I'm gonna have to agree to disagree. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, can you say sphere?
You know what? Wait, what did you say?
Can you say sphere?
Sphere? You mean pronounce it the way you pronounce it, or pronounce it the way I'm supposed to pronounce it?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to see because I'm trying to pronounce the correct way, and it's a very big word for me.
Sphere. It's sphere.
It's sphere.
Sphere. Ear. Ear. Sphere.
Hang on. Oh, I'm having a return moment helmet.
He thinks it's a moment.
You can't do a Sean Connery parody with the shriel.
Look, even KSS is laughing at you, Prime. You dumb blew it.
I know I did. I did it on purpose. See, your chat is amused now. Ha ha ha.
No, Prime. See,
And you're scratching your head.
okay. I want to correct the record. You didn't do that on purpose. There's a whole room dedicated to how stupid the words that come out of your mouth are.
Yeah. Just tell everybody about the prime dumb moments challenge. Just go ahead. Just go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
I can't do it justice by describing it. It's something you have to experience to know that this actually does happen, and on a regular basis. So what you just witnessed and heard with the sphere thing, that's a regular occurrence with Primathor. The whole room is dedicated and documented of everything that he's ever said and done that defies human logic and human tolerance.
I'm so glad I have a friend like you, Elasma. Thank you.
I do what I can for you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, it says last man, it's Black History Month. Tell about George Washington. Okay, so I expand, Kismis. I expand. So when I talk about the colors and the pox, it's whoever is appropriate for that day in the month of February. So at the very least, I see you're engaging with the topic. So I thank you for that, and I see a small semblance of reverence towards me as a POC. So I appreciate that. So on POC History Month, I ask for everybody to please show me respect and dignity and reverence as we get through the month, and then once March hits, then resume your spears. So there you go. And yes, I said spear, not sphere, because spears are the pointy things that the bush people throw at their whites when the whites invade their country. Absolutely. So,
I love it.
Timothy says sometimes we sphere the unknown. That wasn't witty, Timothy. That wasn't witty. Why do you think that was witty? What does that mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean, Elasma.
No, I know what it means. I know what the word means, but I'm asking him what that means. Because he said a word and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense what you just said. None. So I've been thinking, okay, and I'm gonna close the stream in a few minutes, but I was thinking, um, as I'm doing the Dungeoneers documentary, I'm working on that. I got to thinking that at some point I want to go into the Charlie Hebdo stuff, and I talk about Charlie Hebdo on these streams, these Thursday streams, the last few times. So I profiled some of the artists that were killed during the Charlie Hebdo attacks in 2015, and apparently there's a rabbit hole with that. And I think it's time to go into that and do a documentary on that, since it does deal with independent comic artists. This one's a very controversial subject, so it might be interesting to do and look into the court records, because the court records of that incident revealed certain things that I guess the mainstream didn't really touch on. So that'll be interesting to check out. KSS the last. Remember when Anthony Hopkins played a black man passing for a white in that movie? Let's discuss that. Hmm.
You remember when Anthony Hopkins played Paul and literally chased down and beat people? That was awesome.
Hmm. Anyway, the chat just derailed me, and you derailed me. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. Thinking about those documentaries. And maybe at some point, maybe do a documentary on the totality of the underground comics movement. The things I've discussed on this stream, but I got to see how. First, my first goal is to finish the Dungeoneers documentary, and then I'll go into a Charlie Hebdo doc and see how well that does. And depending on my findings, that may not be a YouTube friendly documentary, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, Wiggle just started his stream. He's now on camera, so we'll probably head over to there to Crapcast. So I think we had a very good stream today. Very, very wonderful conversation about Phil Beck, and I like looking at his artwork. So it was fun to look at it and fun to discuss it, and even a lot more fun to get into these conversations. You have any last words, Predator?
Fear?
How about you, Mood of Health?
Hey, if you make a Charlie Hebdo documentary, I can promote that, because that's a topic a very interesting topic for European, especially.
So okay, so then you're the right person to ask. So if you can forward me any information on that, I mean,
Yes.
I went through like Rumble, because Rumble has some videos on that. So I had downloaded some stuff from Rumble. But if you have any information to send me on that, send it to me, because like I said, this is gonna be like a deep dive one, and there's gonna be some stuff that is gonna get revealed based on what I read in the court record. So um
There's an interesting story of German parody books doing solidarity books after Charlie Hebdo happened.
send me that information out. That will be great for that documentary.
Yeah, I'll try to get that together.
See, Prime, that is how you do a last word. That's how you do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? You want me to cry about it?
Yes, I do. I do.
Maybe I should say something more controversial, like wash your ass, Peanut Head.
Time